Buffering. We are live. All right. This is Andrew Cox with Promotional Media. What is it? Talksiik, right? Isn't that how is that how it is? Yeah, I figured it was. Right. So here with Talksiik, if we can maybe give a quick introduction of who you are and where people can find you.
Yes, my name is Talksiik. I'm from the DFW region based out in Arlington, Texas. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. My music is right now on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and Deezer. It is set to be on all, streaming platforms soon. But if you want to get to my music quick and easy, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music's probably going to be your safest bets to get to my music ASAP.
Spelled the way it is on the screen there.
Yes, the same way how it is on the screen. Talksiiik.
And it's pronounced more not toxic, right? Like toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
that, dude. I like that. That's that's cool. So if we could, man, what we try to get at least a first name, man, but if you could introduce the real you so we can kind of talk about the early life of who you are and why you are the man you are today.
Yeah, man. My name's Eddie. Uh, I was born in Lubbock, Texas, and then I moved over here and to Arlington in the DFW region when I was like around 10, and been here since, man. And I've always had a love for music since I was, since I was a youngin. My mom used to, know a DJ out in Lubbock, Texas. Her best friend was a DJ for at the Hano Music Station, which is like a Tex-Mex type of music. And she used to get us backstage all the time and stuff. And that's how I was pretty much introduced to music. My first introduction to music.
Um, you talk about your mom, or you say that dad around?
Uh no, my dad went to prison when I was like 6, and he was there in there for about 10 years. He didn't a little about, I'll say like 9 years. He didn't get out till I was like around 14,
Dude,
6, 7, 8.
without getting into
So
too many details, can you like what was he down for, or like drugs, violence,
it was drugs. It was
drugs?
drugs, man. Yeah.
Uh, what kind of? So, what age were you? 6.
I was around 6. Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
6.
What kind of impact do you think that put on you, man?
I mean, I know it made put a negative and a positive impact. I feel like everybody has their own story and goes through certain things. You know what I mean? That, like you said, builds you to who you are today. Negatively, man, didn't have my dad growing up, but I always had male figures around. My brother, I have my brother around, which is he's a part of my group, and he's a huge supporter of my music and what I do. He's 8 years older than I am, but you put us side by side, people think we're twins.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
but yeah, my brother and I, my mom had brothers as well, my uncles, and they were always around, and they were there for me. So, you know, even though I didn't have my dad, I always had, you know, men figures around,
Yeah,
uh,
to kind of give you the ropes of how to be, grow from being a boy to a man.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Me, dude, same, just not same, but similar. My dad beat my mom at like the age of 4, I think it was, man, and then ran out. And I saw him again when I was 9. My mom had just gotten married, and they went on a honeymoon and left me there. I had at that time, I guess I think he was married to her. Uh, they called him my stepbrother. Big dude. I was 9. He was like 14 or something, man. He smothered me with a pillow, dude. Almost killed me, man. Yeah, it was crazy. And my dad was never around. And then next time I saw him was like I was 13 or something. And then just recently, when I was 40, the next time, and he's still just the same old POS drunk that he was back then, you know. So I do think that the life without a father, you know, your father without your actual blood father, it does put a lot of struggle on a person, you know, and especially a boy. And it's hard for us to find those figures to rightly teach us to be a man, because sometimes you fall in with the wrong stuff, you know. And like I
Yeah.
got into gang stuff, drug stuff, you know, really early, thieving, all kinds of just. It was fun to be a POS. It was fun to go out there and like hurt people and take from them, you know. And it's disgusting behavior though, you know. It's really
Yeah,
bad.
you know, yeah, it is bad, you know. I mean, like, you know, we all have those moments, I feel like, you know, growing up and stuff. And, you know, it's not like, you know, it's a long, you know, it's all about growing up, bro. You know what I mean? So it seems like you've grown from that, you know. So
My
it's like I'm right
wife,
there with
my
you.
kids. Yeah, my wife and
Yep.
kids, man, they helped out. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. What about you? You got kids, wife, anything?
Yes, yes, I got kids and I got a wife, man. Much like you, for one for them, you know, I'd probably still be a POS, bro. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. They put perspective on a lot of things. Priority. They put perspective on
yeah,
what priorities are, for sure.
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
and sometimes, you know, other perspectives from other people helps you navigate through life. You know, sometimes listening to other people is going to help you more than listening to yourself.
I do agree. I actually think too. This is why I'm not a big fan of talk therapy in any way. I think that stuff is just it's kind of laughable, but I do think in some
Yeah,
ways it can work, because when you get an outside, as long as they're truly objective, as long as they're a truly objective person, which these days it's all about affirming everything and just stuffing you full of pills, you know. And there's no actual healing and ways to accept the things and move past them with um constructive ways to approach it mentally. Like, you know, it's something that you can't, you know, change, so you just got to accept it and figure out how do you accept it and move forward. Instead, they're like, here, take this pill, it'll make you not even care. You don't even need to accept it because you won't care. You'll just
you
walk
don't
around like
care.
a
Yeah,
zombie, you know. Right. So but I do just the outside perspective looking in is very much so useful. And I think listening to people kind of talk about their experiences and things like that, you can just sit there and put yourself in in their shoes and listen and say, okay, man, I won't do that. Or if it's successful, like I'm gonna go that route, maybe tweak it a bit because I like doing this, but I know at least
yeah,
that was successful, you know. Totally, man. It's there's the problem though. A lot of people don't know which ones to. Who do you listen to? Who's the right person to guide you through the path of your life? You know, better than your fucking mom. Man, I already dropped it. Better than your mom or your father. Who is better to guide you through life? You know, so when you're left with both of them not there or one of them not there, it does put a big struggle on a person, on a child, for sure. So, you know, I think my lesson to that is stay with your kids, stay together,
yeah,
pick people wisely, you know, make sure that the person that you're trying to spend your life with is there to actually be down for the
there to
cause.
benefit you as well. Yep. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Not
to be
only
honest.
benefit you, benefit everybody. You know what I mean? Like, synergy is key. You know.
I agree.
But yeah, 100% agree with what you said.
Yeah, well, growing up, what kind of student were you?
Uh, Elementary, I was a really good student. You know, my mom used to work in. She was a secretary in elementary school, in the elementary school that I went to in Lubbock.
Awesome.
And
That's so cool, dude. So she
yeah, and
barely
every
was even outsourcing parenting. She was there with it. That's what's up.
yeah,
Sorry,
you
that's
know,
cool.
and No, you good, you good. And, and all the kids love my mom, bro. All the kids are like, "Oh, I wish your mom was my mom," and I was like, "Ah, you don't know my mom when we get home." You know what I
Right.
mean? But mom was a great woman. You know what I mean? She's just instilling the things that she needed to instill in me because I didn't have my dad. You know what I mean? Uh,
Man,
but as a kid, you always think your parents you know, aren't the best. So when they're like, "Oh, wish your mom was my mom," I'm like, I don't know. But
you get to that moment where you see somebody else like a lot of the time when you're interacting with your friends, you're at your friend's house. The parents, they're kind of more lenient, because everybody's around. It's like, we'll let it slide tonight because you got your boys
yeah,
here. But when they're gone, woo, everything's different. The wooden spoon. Did you get the wooden spoon ever? Because
oh
I mean,
no, no, man,
I got beat with that thing, dude. And it's
well,
bad when she's using it and it comes out and you see the steam.
it's
It
wet,
stings,
but
right? Oh man, it's like smoke,
oh man,
Nah, so you didn't get
now
the
my
spoon.
mom would just, now my mom would just hit me, bro, just backhand me and shit, man. There I go. My mom would just
Yeah,
backhand me, bro. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
she
yeah.
would hardly hit me, but the times where she'd hit me because I deserved it. You know what I mean? Like she.
It's so bad that we have to you have to backtrack that, which you don't, but society has made us feel like we have to make sure that we qualify that. Well, it was back when it was okay to beat your kids. Look, I
Yeah,
still,
it's
if
never
your
okay, but
kid, hey, if your kid is stepping out of line, and I mean out of line egregiously, right? What's wrong? It depends, age, situation, things like that. I
yeah,
can tell you this, man. Daughter spits in brother's face, and if you're sitting there and you see, and she goes like as her lips are going, you just
uh,
flick it right in the lip.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
No, you don't do that.
yeah,
Hey, justifiably so. Maybe she won't do it again, right?
yeah. I mean, in this day and age, man, you got to kind of like
Oh, you get cuffed
watch your
up.
back, kind of sometimes. Yeah, you get cuffed up. When I remember when I first got my kids and stuff, started. I looked up. It's like, can you legally physically discipline your kids? You know what I mean?
Where's the line? Is like, well, really,
Yeah,
it's just don't leave bruises.
there is a line.
Open hand, don't leave bruises, and I don't think you can use objects. I think that's the law. At
Yeah,
least it is.
no. Coach got to be on. It's got to be
Yeah,
within a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
line.
Right. Which I actually I don't mind regulation only because people like to cross them, and I don't think that it's cool to. I very much so am an advocate for kids. I do think that we don't have enough structure on them these days, though. This soft parenting thing
Exactly.
just isn't working. You got kids running
Uh,
around in dog costumes and collars, being walked by their other person with a dog like leather master mask or something, and this is normality now. You look at that
yeah,
and you're not allowed to be like pointing and laugh. I want to point and laugh every time I see that. I want to
yeah.
point and laugh and
Right.
just say you are ridiculous and stupid, and
Exactly.
everything
Like,
is
not my kids, bro. You know,
it's
like,
delusional for me.
not
Yeah, not
my
mine
kids.
either. Not mine
You know,
either.
like, God bless you. God bless you letting your kids, giving them that freedom, but not my kids. Like, sorry, baby, but you ain't gonna be looking like that when we go out in public. I'm
Yeah, look, my
sorry,
daughter,
sorry, but I
tried
ain't sorry.
right? My daughter tried to wear the princess. We bought a set, and it had like three princess shoes and three princess dresses, and it was costume sets. And she wanted to wear them all the time to school. Now, when it was like Halloween, we let her wear one, but then she wanted to wear it all the time. And I gave her the option. I'm like, look, you wear the high heels or you could wear the dress, one or the other, for structure and that. And she picked the shoes more than the dress, and she really, really hated the shoes because she couldn't walk in at school or
Yeah.
play it for recess. So she just like stopped wearing it. I was like, win. That's how you just
Boom.
Yeah, put some structure. You tell them it's a costume. It's not real. You can't go out there and play pretend and make sure everybody else is playing along with you. Just because you're wearing the princess costume doesn't mean everybody's going to call you your majesty, you know?
Exactly.
Right.
They ain't gonna do what
Yeah,
you want when you tell them.
yeah, right. They, yeah, they're after it out there. So anyway, so you're decent in school on the elementary. What what type of after school activities were you doing? You know, from like middle school, high school, getting in shenanigans? Were you pretty straight? You know, what happened there?
Yeah, in middle school, I was in football, basketball, did track and stuff, seventh, eighth
Oh,
grade, but then
all of that. Hold on. You did all of that at once?
not all at once, like they
Well,
had like
different seasons, but
football for
I'm
this
saying,
season.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you just
Yeah,
consistently, you never stopped playing sports. Whenever that season was over, you just hopped on to the
yeah, I
next.
just hopped on to another sport.
Awesome. That's impressive. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. That's pretty
But
cool though.
it only lasted for middle school though. You know what I mean? Like once I got into high school, a lot of my friends that I was in football with, you know, got jacked up, during the summer and shit, and they got big. I stayed the same size. You know what I mean? So for me, I was just like, nah, y'all gonna kill me out in practice. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and around that time is when I started. That and around that time I started getting into smoking and shit. You know what I mean? Smoking weed and smoking cigarettes and so I didn't really start smoking cigarettes. I started out smoking Black and Milds. Uh,
that's a huge step. You. I'm gonna bypass this stuff, bro. I'm going
yeah,
pro step immediately.
yeah. Well, man, it was my boy. It was one of my best friends in school. He came by my crib one day. He's like, "You want to smoke Black Mild?" I'm like, "Sure." I ain't never had one, but let me try it.
Yeah, why
I was like,
not?
"It's all right." It's like it's not weed, but I tried it, and then when I tried cigarettes, I didn't really like cigarettes that much, and then I went to the Black and Milds, and then I teetered back and forth with cigarettes and Black and Milds, and then I did cigarettes for a couple years, and then I just stopped cigarettes because it was just
Did
more of like a fad
hold
following
on,
type thing. Like
hold on. I
like I
just had
never
to
really
say,
liked it to
like
begin with.
you say, you did cigarettes. It's
Yeah.
going. It's always like, man, you want to do some marijuana? You want to do some weed?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
did
Honestly, I
cigarettes.
did it because I didn't smoke them for a long time, so
I get it.
I
I
want to
get
say
it.
I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it.
I
Like
got you.
as quick as I could pick it up was as quickly as I put it down because it was never really my preference. My preference is weed. You know what I mean, man? So
You wanted some benefit to the smoke.
exactly. I want to feel something.
Right.
Not
Which
knowing.
makes sense.
But yeah, man.
I was smoking. My first cigarette was 8. I was 8.5. My uncle was 10, maybe 11 years old. We were only that few years apart, and we kind of grew up together like brothers for a minute. And he had me smoke my first cigarette, and then excuse me, I'm so sorry. And then my grandma smoked my first joint with me on my 9th birthday. And so that's when I
Awesome.
started smoking
That is awesome.
smoking weed. I mean, some people would say that, some people would say different. I think it was our me and my grandma were so cool, dude. She had diabetes and some other, like, she was sick, and my mom would hide snacks up on the top of the, like, the cabinets, in the kitchen. So I'd climb up on the counters and I'd get the snacks and I'd give her snacks and she'd give me cigarettes. So like I traded, like I won't tell
Yeah.
mom if you won't tell her, And so we had
Yeah.
this pack. I loved her so much, man, so much.
Well, your grandma
Yeah.
seemed that awesome, man.
Yeah, she was super cool, man. She was super loving and super cool. But yeah, when she passed, uh I think I was like 9 years old, man. That's when, everything went downhill and went living on the streets and institutions of Vegas and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, well, what were you doing when you were smoking weed? Like what kind of activities were you out there doing in your high school and early adult years? Um, Getting jobs or, kind of trying to slide by hustling or what?
Yeah, man. Whenever my dad got out of prison, every summer I would go with him, and I started working. So he kind of put me on to working for my money. So whenever I would come back from summer break living with him, I would get me a job. And my first job here, I do believe, was Six Flags. Got a job at Six Flags, and it
Dude,
wasn't
that's
for Six Flags. It was for a company called the Sky Coaster. Uh, and it was the people that they strap up and they pull them up like all the way up high, and then they pull a zip cord and they free fall for like 30 feet, and then they get caught and
yeah,
then they swing back and forth.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
me
yeah. I did
strapped.
not. I was not a fan of that one.
Dude,
I had to pull the
try
cord.
like
I'm good. Go ahead.
every morning, dude. You go in, you have to test it out. You have to be the first
Oh
person
no!
to test it out. They strap you up. You go up there, dude, and you're there, and you're the first person to go. You just falling down. You're like, damn, you know.
You have to test it because they need to make sure that it's gonna work. Because if it doesn't
Yes.
work, well, I mean, how much are you getting paid?
Well, to be honest, I was a kid. I wasn't sure. I should have read the contract
Right?
before signing it. That's probably why they make you sign the contract. Here, sign this contract.
You ever watch
You're
South
saying that
Park?
if you, dude, I love South Park, dude.
You watch the
I
one where
haven't
they did
watched the which
go ahead.
one?
Where
No,
they
I can't.
upgraded the Apple agreement, where they upgraded it, and and everybody had to acknowledge it, and they didn't know what they were agreeing to was if they wanted to make a human centipede. Have you seen that movie?
No, I
So,
haven't seen that.
do you know what it is?
Nah.
Where they sew somebody's butt to
Oh,
another
the
person,
mouth to the.
and
Oh
it
yeah, I
goes
remember
in,
that movie.
dude, nasty. So that yo, what up, punk? Yeah, so um they agreed to that, and that was what, they were making people do that on stage or something. Cartman was one of them, and they're like, you should have read the agreement, So yeah, that's the thing. I think it's really, really important that you read the fine line, the fine print. Um, if not, like you said, you're gonna
Man,
be the one. You're gonna be the one testing the ride, making sure that it's working.
you break every bone in your body. You signing this means we are not responsible.
Yeah, we're not liable for none of You know what, too? Actually, you're gonna have to pay them for the cleaning up too. You're gonna
No,
have to
for
pay
real.
them for the cleanup.
You got to pay for all the stuff. You got to pay for the labor that we had to bring out here to clean up your mess.
Hey, it's not cheap. It really isn't. Man, that's ridiculous. So first job,
Yeah,
man, did it not work out or what? At
nah,
six.
not really, man. From there, I mean, I was like job from job after that, and then I did a little bit of hustling on the side. Uh, I'm trying to think what else I was doing around that time. 'Cause
Just to
fuck,
let
I
you
was
know, I'm
oh,
sorry.
my
I'm
bad.
just sending this link to a few people, man. I apologize
Oh,
for
you
not.
straight, bro.
Go ahead though. I'm about done. I'm sorry. I'm not
No,
giving you
all gravy,
attention.
man. No, all gravy, man. Yeah, man. I did a little bit of hustling on the side, but at school, outside of school, me and my brother used to host parties and stuff at our house in our garage and stuff, and that's when we started, doing our music thing. People would come to our parties, our school friends from school. Dude, there used to be this like Mexican church next to us, and every Sunday there's probably only like 5, 6 cars. But on Saturday night, that church parking lot was packed, bro. And all
Was
those
that
people
because
would come
everybody
to
was in your house?
yeah, everybody was coming to our parties. And that's when we started doing shows, like local shows with our music and stuff and getting our stuff out there, man. So that's when I started taking my music serious. I didn't really start like recording actual music till like 2012. And around this time, there's like 2006, 2007, but that's what kind of started the whole music thing.
What was your first released song?
First actual release song was a song called "In the Beginning," and it's still on Spotify.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, it's still on Spotify. Some damn, I forgot the rapper's name, but he came out to Texas and he was, Spotify had just barely came out and he's like, yeah, I'm getting people on Spotify, you know what I mean? Contact me and I'll get you on. So we contact him. I know he did a song with Tupac, but man, for the love of me, I can't remember his name. Sorry, man, if I forgot your name, my guy. But but yeah, he got us on Spotify and we get, I had just recorded that song and I was all hype about it, but it was like this was during the mixtape era when rappers were rapping over known beats, but I was trying to be different. So instead of rapping over rap instrumentals, I was rapping over dubstep and trap beats. And people, a lot of people like that, but if you're like a big fan of dubstep, you fucking up the song. You messing up the song, bro. What are you doing? You messing it up. You know what I mean? Dubstep don't need words. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I mean? But
I liked like Corn. Corn did a couple, but there was one I can't remember what it was, but I liked that one a lot. I think dubstep is missing lyrics. That's what I think. I think it's missing lyrics.
Yeah, that's how I felt, man. I mean, I still got like, if you get on Spotify, it's not under Talksiik, it's under my group's name. It's called Heretic Click, but we still got tracks that are on, that have, the dubstep songs and stuff on there. But that's how we started out, man. Rapping over dubstep beats and making mixtapes with them. And we got that first song on Spotify, and then we get on Spotify, and then we just kept releasing music, just kept going, and all of a sudden, like it took about like 2 years, dude, for us to start seeing stuff. Like the first 2 years, it was only like 5 followers, me, my brother, my wife, his girl, and my mama. You know what I mean? Like those were the 5 followers for 2 years. And then all of a sudden it just started taking off. That Love Sosa track just took off and we got it up to 50 million streams till we had to take it down.
Why'd you have to take it down?
Nothing to do with that producer, but another producer that was a dubstep producer got wind of the streams that we were getting, and their people contacted my people and gave us a cease to desist letter, and had us take it down. So
hard to fight that when it's legit, I guess. Like if there's not significant change to it, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
kind of gotta adhere to that, or you get lost in the. I mean, how big was his company? How big was this dubstep song and all that? If it was like somebody that has a whole group of lawyers behind them, how could you ever fight that?
Yeah, and then the crazy thing is that producer. It was his management team that was contacting us. It wasn't like we never talked to the guy himself, but he the crazy thing is like, I mean, not really trying to throw any kind of like shade towards the situation, but he wasn't even like the songs that we did over his stuff weren't even the highest streaming songs that we had.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
You're like, hey
so
man, look, I'm gonna make your shit. I'm gonna make your stuff better. Like I'm gonna make it better. You know, watch. Let me add
yeah,
some lyrics and bring some fan base to what you're doing. Why not just collab? You know. Again, I
and
think
that's
that dubstep is missing lyrics. You know, it really is.
yeah, that's
I'm
how I've
not one.
always felt. Like
Yeah, I'm
I
not
like the
one to just
instrumental
listen.
part.
Yeah, sure, but without man, I really like lyrics, dude. I just really do. You know, I don't listen to stuff just for the beat. I like the feel of the beat to coincide with the passion of the artist, you know, who's telling you a story. That's what I listen to. I like that.
Yeah, you like the art of things. You like, you know, you
Yeah.
appreciate the art and what it's about.
Yeah, even when they're doing like these silly songs or party songs, which I, you know, nowadays I kind of somewhat shift away from. Just my music is changing. I don't you know, I've been real finding my faith. Me and the wife have been real hardcore to Christian rap going right now, you know. So I try to really watch what I'm putting on, but I still recognize the talent where it is. I used to love that music, you know, a lot. So it's not like I can ever actually take that out of me or the ability to hear it and be like, yo, that's a banger. You know, that's heat, dude. People are going to like it. Dude's got great flow. You know, I love it when it's so butter smooth, dude, and it goes right with the knock of the beat. It's just good, you know. And I
Yeah,
know that rap is kind of the industry is a little bit saturated with people who have the talent to rap, but what they also are doing is auto tuning. I don't like auto tune
yeah.
at all.
Like
Don't like it.
I feel like there's a time and a place for it. You know what I mean? Like auto tune's good for club music. I feel like, you know, but like if you're
Okay,
at the club, you know, and they're playing it, you know, it gives that good vibe. But you know,
T
am I
Painish.
gonna want to listen? Am I gonna want to listen to a storyteller in auto tune?
No,
No, you know, you know
I
what I
really,
mean.
yeah, I really don't though. That doesn't it doesn't amuse me at all,
Like
man. Like
just imagine
I don't
Immortal Technique and some auto tune. You know what I mean?
I don't like Juice World for that like at all. I don't like any of his music. I think it all, you know, I don't know. A lot of people will probably give me some heat for that, but I really don't care. I think my daughter was taking, where were we going? Were we going to a tech thing, Tech 9 thing or something? I forgot where we were going, but we were driving hours away, I think to Kansas City. And
Yeah.
she was playing her music. She was driving us, and she was playing her music. And it was Juice World the whole way there. And I swear I didn't even think she changed the song. I thought it was on repeat.
Yeah, that's all
Same
the
song
thing.
for hours, dude. Hours. I'm like, this is torture. I can't believe this song goes on for 3.5 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Juice World. I mean, honestly, I don't know too much about, you know, that generation of rappers. Like, I think out of that whole generation of rappers, the one that I've listened to the most of is probably Ski Mask the Slump God.
I don't know that one.
No, dude, you should
No,
probably check him out. You'll probably like
I've,
him. He's got a couple good jams. Like Faucet Failure. He's got another one where it's kind of like it's almost like a cover to Snoop Dogg's "Drop It Like It's Hot." I forgot what it's called. Man, but he's got some pretty good ones, man. Like like out of everybody, I would recommend Ski Mask. Out of everybody, never really listened to X or Trippie Redd or any of them. I don't know too much about them to even give a, you know, an opinion about their music. To be honest,
sure.
dude,
Yeah.
you know, as an
What?
artist, you know, once you become a certain to a point as an artist, you listen to you know, you listen to what you listen to. But for me personally, I feel like a lot of artists do this. You know, they recognize some artists, but they pay more attention to their own music. You know what I mean? And it's nothing personal against any other artist. I focus on my own music. I don't got time to focus on what that other man's doing. Type deal. You know what I mean?
No, actually,
You know,
I
much
understand. I understand completely. I see Punchline do it all the time, man. He actually, one of the things he's like, I like making music that I like to listen to. You know, that's I think that's reasonable. Yeah. Because there's a lot of trash out there, like straight trash, dude, and it gets play. I don't understand it. I really don't. I honestly like Punch, dude, is top, top of the field, man. I
yeah.
don't understand. You know, everybody that I speak with, man, is like up there. And I see the people that are like up there in the mainstream getting the popularity. And I look at them and I think, dude, everybody I know is better than you. Way better. They have better rhythm, they have better beats, they have better concepts, they have better storytelling abilities, they have better stories to tell, you know,
Exactly.
and it's just, how does it get so much play? It drives me insane. And all I want to do is find people like you, like him, people that I see, dude. I see talent. I know it. There's no way there's no talent there. Again, like your beats, dude. Super. Do you make your own beats?
No, man. The most of the stuff that I've been doing as far as with my Talksiiik solo thing is my cousin.
But you
His
got your
name.
beat maker.
Yeah, I got my beat
Yeah,
maker.
what's
I
his
got
name?
a few.
You're about to drop it, so I didn't mean to interrupt that.
Oh yeah. He goes by All Night. Uh,
Spell it.
but yeah, he's a man. My cousin is.
Spell his name. Spell his name. How do you spell it?
It's ALNIYAT.
All right,
And
all night.
yeah, he explained, like, I just talked to him not that long ago about it. I was like, because for the longest he never really had an actual producer name. You know, he's my cousin. So we always called him Big Head. You know what I mean? So
Is that
so
is it? Did anybody get that reference from So I Married an Axe Murderer?
no.
All right, is
That's
that
always
movie?
been
Okay, all right.
his, yeah, that's always been his name, like his nickname since like he was young. Since he was young, I remember like his mom used to say that he would be she would have him sitting on the car seat in the passenger side, and that her baby's daddy at that time would call and be like, "Who's that dude that you with? That's what you on the passenger side." He's like, "That's my baby." Dude's head was so big.
I thought it was a dude. It's a little baby. Oh, that's hilarious, man. That is so funny. Like that dude, nah, man, that's a grown man. I know the size of a grown man's
No,
head when I see one. That's so funny.
exactly.
Oh, well,
So,
cousin, yo, your beats, if
hey,
he hears this at all, your beats, awesome. I think that the talent is up there, dude. Like they're fantastic
thanks,
beats.
man.
And your flow complements them very well, dude. Like I really like it. Um I asked Punch, dude. I'm sure he's down. Well, he is. He's just working on this album that he's about to release. I know Anthony Boggs too is a great rapper, man, and art and MC. I would love to see you guys all collab together, like for sure. I think that you could put out something pretty nice, man, like for real.
Hey, I'm
So
down,
yeah,
bro. Yeah, I'm down,
this
bro.
is
Just
please go ahead.
oh yeah, just we want to make that happen. I'm down to make that happen, bro. I'm always down to collab with anybody, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've been there. You got to get your name out there. I'm always open to collab with anybody. And if you feel like we can make that happen, bro, I'm down for that, dude.
Yeah, I'll be pushing that for sure. When we were talking kind of like times of growing up, just curious, how old are you?
I'm 37.
37. Okay. Yeah, so we ain't too far off from, we're about the same Same way of growing up. We seen the world change in the same ways. I only got a couple years on you. That ain't nothing. So yeah, it's I like talking to people with that perspective though, man, because we used to remember it back in the day. And it's an actual thing now to say back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm 41,
Back
dude.
in the day.
Back in the day. That's a
Back in the
thing.
day.
And it was truthfully, man, it was good, you know, even though I was doing dirt and it was terrible, kind of how the effect I was having on maybe my community. It was good. It was fun, you know. I had fun doing it. I'm having fun now though, better actually, because got more purpose. I'm sure like you know what to do now. You got your kiddos. How old are your kids?
My oldest, she's about to be 17 on the 20th of this month, and my youngest is 15. I have a stepdaughter. She is about to be 18 in October, and she's going to Texas Tech. And I have another stepdaughter. She's the same age as mine. My youngest, she's 15.
Gonna put out more kids, man?
Oh no, no more for me, bro. Yeah.
Oh man, why not, dude? We need more. We need more out here, especially people with more sense in this world, dude. Like somebody with actual, you know, sense. I just had one. I'm about to have another one, dude. 41. I'm ready to go. You know, my
Hey,
wife, she's
hey,
she's still rocking it out. Like, let's go. Come
hey,
on, man. Make more
congratulations.
babies.
Hey, I mean, I'm pretty sure if me and my wife could, we would, but you know, my wife had some medical complications, you know,
Oh,
earlier, you know, our years, which doesn't allow her to have that, you know. So, you know, if we do, we're gonna probably adopt if we do
that's
decide
cool.
to,
Hey,
you
you
know,
know what?
get another one,
I
you
will
know.
I will say this. The one thing that we need more adoption of though aren't babies, dude. They are kids. Only on this
Yeah.
because the waiting list for babies is literally, man, not to get so political into this, but I'm gonna tell you the actual number. So this is what it is, dude. There's like 2 million people on the waiting list, right? Per every mil
Yeah.
on per year. There's 1 million abortions every year, but there are 2 million people standing in line ready to take every single one of those babies. 100% of babies are adopted. And if anybody tries to say something different, they're liars, straight up effing liars, you know. And I want to drop the F bomb there. Liars. Every baby born is adopted, period. That's put up for adoption. So yeah, one of the things like I adopted one of my sons as well. And I got him when he was 8, but that wasn't like I went to go adopt. His father did terrible things and he knew me, and so my son named my house as a safe place, and so they asked if we would foster him. We was like, hell yeah. So we decided to foster him, and then we went through the process of adopting because, you know, I didn't want to put him through the system, dude. Ain't nobody gonna make him. No, nobody that I know is going to raise him better than what I could do, you know, because I know I'm going to. He's my kid. He's the same. It doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's awesome.
yeah,
Man. That's awesome, dude. You're a good dude for that, man.
uh, I think that if you're putting an opportunity to do something and you know you can do it and you pass it up, that makes you a terrible person. So
Yeah.
it was only because I was asked in that heat of the moment why I even thought about doing it, you know, other than having my own again. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm never going to stand in. A kid is asking me for help. There's no question, of course, you know. So I think sounds like, man, if somebody stood in front of you and asked you, it sounds like you'd probably say the same thing, you know. So I think
Yeah,
that
most definitely.
we have an obligation to it. I think, you know, we have an obligation to stand up and protect the kids. And if we can do it, we should do it. So if you guys are ever in a position to do it, I think that'd be great, man. You know, and doesn't, if you're over with it, man, you guys raised plenty of kids. At least you replaced yourself, you know, which is
Yes.
the thing. We need to at least have two, right? We need to have one for dad and one for mom so that our population stays at least good.
Say yes.
Yeah. So again, another thing too, just FYI, man, and Google's weird when you start asking it this, but if you ask it like, can the world support? I think it's 15 billion or 20 billion. I think I asked it 20 billion people. Can it sustain that comfortably? It says it would be. There's ways to do it, but it is sustainable to do it. And now that right there, 20 billion. Now there are a lot of scientists that are coming out now saying that we can withstand comfortably 20 billion people on this planet. And there's people that say, oh, well, we're overpopulated. No, we're clustered in cities that are near like water sources. So it looks like we're overpopulated. But if you actually zoom out into the world and see where there is no people, it's like, I think that they still say that the whole population can fit in the state of Texas. The whole world can fit in the state of Texas with like a quarter acre or something like that. So just saying that, man, that's crazy for people to think that we can't sustain that. We're not overpopulated. That's BS. That people are lying to everybody, making us want to, depopulate the earth, man. We need to have more babies, dude. We are in a free fall of our replacement rate. We're actually getting to a point where, like China, or not China, Japan, I think that they're predicted to not even be around in like 100 years, maybe 2 or 100 years. But their predictions, when they redid the numbers and they got to this number, they were like vastly off. It was supposed to be a little longer than that, but they just like recrunched it. And they're like, this is way off. They're going to die. This whole nation, the whole population of that country is about to go because there are so many old people. There's not enough young people to take care of the old people. They're just dying off. Nobody's having babies. So just
that's crazy, man.
If we can, if you guys have in the world, if you guys have good morals, okay, go out there and make some babies, please, because we need
make them babies.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Like I always felt like, because I've noticed that too. Like there's been less babies being made, and the babies that are being made are more female than there are male. On my observation, you know what I mean?
No. I almost see that, but I think for some reason we still are through the population of the Earth, which is so weird. And this is, in me, it's answered easily. God is keeping us half and half. But we are roughly still split right down the middle of half female and half male. But I actually do think that by the numbers a little bit, I do think we have more females than male. I'm not sure, but I do think that part of this might have to do with, well, probably not war, but I was thinking of like what's going on in Russia and stuff right now. But I think that numbers were before that. But I think that that's crazy that we have still a good split of half and half people,
Yeah.
So when did you meet your wife? How old were you when you met her?
I met my wife when I was 28 years old. She
tell me the meet story, man. How did you meet her? What's up?
Facebook, what I mean? We met each other on Facebook, but we had mutual friends, that we had throughout the whole time of, we knew of each other, but we never talked to each other type thing. And, one of our mutual friends, hurt himself, got into an accident, and I went to go visit him, and she happened to be there, and, that's how we started talking, and that's how we hit it off. And then,
did he make it? Did your friend pull through all the way?
Yeah. He did. He hurt his shoulder. He broke some stuff in his shoulder and everything, but he healed up and everything. And he's doing good now. He's
good, cool. So thank God that something like that happened, because boom, there you are. Didn't want to be like, oh, what a good thing to happen, your friend getting hurt, and then he didn't pull through. That wouldn't have been good. But so he just hurt his stuff, and then you meet the love of your life.
Yeah, that's exactly, awesome, man. Yeah, so we just hit it up from we hit it off from there.
When you first talked to her, was it like how? Did you just know, or did it take time to kind of like, oh, this chick's cool? and then wow, this chick's really cool, and did it like build up to this, whatever it is, I assume super strong now, or was it just explosive immediately?
It was more like a build up, I would say. Like, but it's like you said, like the first times I started talking to her, I was like, oh yeah, she's really cool. She's really cool. And then, when we, started hanging out, just me and her, got to know her a little bit better, and I was like, oh yeah, she's the one, she's the match for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So after that, we hit it off, and we've been together since, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I do think that the explosive relationship needs to be proceeded with caution. I think that the initial boom, it clouds people, and all of a sudden, you're in eloping, you're premarital sex too, and all these things though, but you're having babies out of wedlock, and then all of a sudden, 5 years down the line, chick's like, man, I don't even like this dude anymore, or
Yeah,
dude's like, man, this chick, dude, she just doesn't shut up. I come home, man, and she's just like, I can't even handle it, and blah blah blah, and then they just start separating, and then you're left with a single household. It's just, I think that you need to take time, step back, figure out if this person really aligns with you and the beliefs that you have, and make sure that the person that you're going to procreate with is the one, or if you guys have a kid together, the 15-year-old.
no, we don't have
Oh,
kids together.
okay, so you don't. I was gonna say, I assume you guys don't have kids together, but I thought, well, you said 28, you're 37. Oh yeah, so yeah, that wouldn't have even been 15 years. Never mind. My math was terrible on that. Anyway, so, or raise kids together. So whether you're gonna have them or raise them together, I also think that you need to make sure that the person aligns with you, because you're gonna have their kids in your possession or in your care, and they're going to have yours as well. So you need to make sure that the foundation of morals and just beliefs and outlook on life align together, or it's going to just be clashy. So
Yeah,
I think that the slow buildup is the best, and this is actually something that I've told Punch a lot too. Like me, I blew up and then I fell down. It was taken from me. Hurts. I think if I had built up a lot slower, the long growth is sustainable growth. I believe that when you get the fans that are sticking around for a really long time, or the supporters, or whatever, to what you're doing, if they are there from the beginning and it pushes on and it takes time to build this momentum up, eventually you'll start to see, success isn't built immediately. Like, it's very rare that you get all the way to the top immediately, and it's a path like this. Like, it goes up and down and up and down, and you creep, and you do it. Just it all what you find a dipping point to where all of a sudden it feels like not only stagnant but maybe a step too back. But then you see the people that are still there, and that's when this is the real support here. So when you have that and you continue to build it, and eventually you see yourself and you're like, whoa, I didn't notice, but I have a lot of people supporting me now all of a sudden, because it built so slow. You just never really noticed the growth until one day you
yeah,
sit back and like, whoa, I'm on top. What happened? That's crazy. That there, hard to tumble. That is going to be, it is going to be hard to cancel that person. Why? Also, because you could just start a new account and they'll look for your name. They'll find
to
you
look
that
for
way,
it.
and they'll want it. When you're built up quick, they barely know who you are. They like your stuff, they're following it and all that, but then you're gone, and they're like, what's that dude's name? How do I look it up? What was that song? What was that? And can't find them because it wasn't there long enough. Or they're like, dude's gone. Whatever. I got this. Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, that was interesting. And the new thing pops up, and dude, it's hard to fight the new thing. Consistency and dedication, that perseverance through it, I think that's what beats the new sparkly dangly thing that distracts society and fan bases of whatever. So what do you do? What are you doing to kind of combat that? I see you're pretty consistent, at least on posting some things, man. It seems like you have a direction. Like, what is the thing that you're trying to focus on that you think might, take you off? What's setting you aside from the others?
Man, I just really got on social media. It's been a while since I've been on social media. I got off like in 2016, bro, and I just barely started back on social media maybe a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago. So whenever we started following each other, it's pretty much I just barely started the social media. So I'm still trying to find my niche and what I think might work for me and stuff. So I figured, let me throw some some videos of me rapping and throw some with some edits on it and everything. I'm still learning.
I like all the edits so far. It's pretty good, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
But but I'm no stranger to the microphone. I'm no stranger to the stage or anything like that. I started getting serious with my music back in 2012. And with my group Heretic Click, me and my brother, and the Ghetto Boys were the first group that put us on to open up for them. We opened up for them in Austin, Texas, and from there.
What was your opening song?
Opening song was that song In the Beginning, the first song that we got on Spotify.
All right.
It was that one. Yeah, and it was awesome, dude. I got to meet Bushwick Bill, Willie D. Didn't get to meet Scarface because he was sick, but we didn't know that at the time. He got hospitalized right after that show. But meeting them was awesome, man, and that was the first takeoff of the journey of my music, man. So yeah, since then, just consistently kept writing music. When I first did that song In the Beginning, that song was recorded through that summer of 2012. Yeah, the summer of 2012, and that whole summer I recorded about 220 songs in that whole summer.
Bro, that's a lot. Man, so what? You like almost every other day or something, one every 3 days or something like that? Dude, you were putting it out.
I was booking like 3 hour sessions and doing anywhere between 6 to 8 songs during these sessions. This is what I was just barely started recording, and I was hungry, and I guess I had a lot to say then. You know what I mean?
Was your cousin making the beats back then? I'm sorry, I mean, was your cousin making the beats back then too, or how were you getting beats?
Yeah, he was always making beats, but I was doing it over the mixtape era thing, doing it over dubstep.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, I got you.
And but he always made beats and songs over some of his beats as well, and we mixed it in with the mixtapes and stuff, so that way they're like, damn, that other song, who made that beat, and my cousin made that beat,
That's cool.
But yeah, man, I was knocking out songs left and right, and just releasing them, and then after a while, I guess I don't want to say it wasn't a burnout, but I guess kind of during that time, I was going through a situation. I left my baby's mama, and trying to figure myself out. That's my party stage, my party phases as well. So around that time, I was doing like a lot of partying music, and mixed with the dark stuff that I did. But yeah, man, I've just been grinding it out. Now I'm trying to focus on putting more substance in my music than anything, because it got to a point where I was just throwing shit out there, dude, and like it was just more like me, like, oh, I feel this, let me write it, write the song, and I just spit it out there, But now I'm taking more time into the creation process and what I want to say, because after like I said, that whole summer I did like 200 something songs, and then within that 200 songs, I split it into 4 mixtapes, tapes, and then like 3 EPs, and then there's some other shit that the other stuff that I haven't released at all. There's other stuff that I just put in the back burner because I was just like, I don't feel like anybody's really gonna vibe with that. Which I probably should release it because that Love Sosa song, the one that had the 15 million streams, like I liked the
That's
song.
one of them.
Yeah, I like that song, but I didn't think this is the hitter. And all of a sudden,
but people, man, you just kind of don't know what they grab onto, you know. So yeah, dude, I liked, man, like I liked that damn song, dude. I hate to say that I liked it, dude, but I like the Sosa song. I liked that song. So when people did beats or other lyrics to that, I usually listen to it. I think that other people did better on that beat than he did too, you know, but I did like it. So yeah, dude, I'd be interested in hearing it. So you should release it, at least from a fan supporter's position. I'll tell you personally, I'd like to hear it. So yeah, if you release it, that'd be cool.
It is on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Yeah, but you know, I walk around my my job with a headphone in, and I like to listen to music. YouTube's kind of hard to do it, so I listen on Spotify all the time. Is usually what it is. Not telling you to start putting stuff specifically on for me on Spotify, but I'm saying if you start getting into that mode where you want to release that, I say do it because I would definitely would. I'd be on it, you know.
Damn,
so.
cool. But yeah, man, I'll let
Um,
you know anytime I drop something, man. I'll shoot you some links and stuff and let you know, bro.
For sure. In asking that too, where are you writing full songs right now? Are you recording them? Are you putting together an album? What are you doing? Where's your direction right now in that way?
Right now, I got 8 songs that are gonna be put into an EP, but I'm releasing them all as singles.
Okay.
And then after the 8th song is released, then I'll release the EP. And
Gotcha. What's the length of time that you'll be releasing those? Are you going to do it like once a week, once a month? You know, how are you dropping them?
I plan on dropping 2 every month. So I already got so I already got 3 out now. I released 2 out in May. Well, the POS one I think was like late April, but the Burn one was out in May, and then the F and Done song that one just came out last week, and then the next song that I got is actually supposed to be released tomorrow on Spotify, and it's called Push. And I'm excited for that one, dude. Man, that I think you'll vibe with that song heavy. It's just one of those.
Go ahead.
It's one of those beats, man, that just it's a rap beat, and you bob your head to it, but once you start hearing my goblin mode, vocals to it, and then you start banging your head to it like it's a new metal song, bro.
I like that. I like the introduction. I liked when Tech was doing with Falling in Reverse, dude. I think a collab, collab with that, fantastic, man. I do like when rap kind of dives into that darkness, rock or that heavy rock, maybe not darkness. I don't want to say too much, but like that it's good, dude. I think it mixes well. People probably wouldn't think it would, but I mean, look at what was it? Rem DMC Rem DMC and Aerosmith. Is that who it was?
Aerosmith. Yeah, they're like the first ones to do it, dude.
That I knew, and it worked like
well.
Absolutely, yeah, very well. So yeah, I liked it a lot. All right, that's cool, man. What are were all those songs on Spotify, like you were saying? All the 3 that you just released?
Yeah. All 3 of those are Spotify.
The new one that's about to drop, you say tomorrow. What is it called again? Push? What is it?
It's called Push. Yeah, Push.
Do you have a small clip that we can hear right now? Just like a taste.
Give me a second, man.
Oh, there we go. We could get a first, never heard little piece.
It's actually released on YouTube as well already. It's already on
Oh, there you go.
YouTube.
All right.
So
No, it's okay. But it ain't dropped on Spotify yet, so that's cool, man. I would like to,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not on Spotify yet, man. But it will be very, very soon. Turn it on real quick and I'll get it on. But yeah, man, my push song is, man, I remember when I made that song, I automatically knew. Like I was like, man, this song is right now I'm saving up money so I can make an animated music video. Cause how I want to do my music videos is I want them kind of want to do like how the Gorillas did it. I want all my music videos to be
Oh,
animated.
cool. Yeah. I like that though. Those are all those video. What is ones like ants? Oh man, or Empire. Yeah, Empire Ants or something like that. That's one of my favorite songs by them, and it's just this real like dreamy. It's different. It's different. It would be something that most people that know me, well, that not really know me, but like people that at work, if they heard me hear that, listen to that, they'd be like, "You listen to that?" Like, yeah, man. On my playlist that I walk around, I got Alanis Morissette, bro. I
Oh,
rock.
yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, I rock with all the old, really good. I got Funky Cold Medina. I got Poison. Power. Like, dude, I got all old, super old school songs on my playlist. I got you. I got Punch. I got a variety of people that I walk around and listen to.
Now, same here, dude, man. Like if you saw like my Spotify playlist that I listen to, I got like 84 hours worth of music on that thing, bro.
That's a lot. That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, dude. And it's from everything from, like you said, I got Alanis Morissette, I got Bobby Brown, I got Temptations, I got Slipknot, I got
Oh yeah,
Smash Mouth, I got Tech Nine, I got UGK, I got Tupac. I mean, it's just it. The list goes as
yeah.
far
I
as the ears and eyes can see.
the very first person, the very first famous person I met. I did, what was it, ULC in Las Vegas, the college team. I guess that wouldn't be considered famous people, but the very first famous person that I met was Corey Taylor from Slipknot.
Oh,
And this was before they had taken, nobody had seen their faces before. Like they hadn't taken off the masks. It was their first album, but I think it was their first tour on it. I think we were like number 2 or 3 states, St. Louis in the tour, and I can't remember if it was like Hoedown or Ozfest, because I think he went to both, or they went to both. But I think it might have been Hoedown. Anyway, he was a side. They were a side stage, and I was up on. Nobody knew who they were, so crowd wasn't built up. They started, and all of a sudden, boom! Just the crowd. It was one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen on a side stage ever, especially at least where they had this side. It was the front. As soon as you walk in, they never put a stage there before at Riverport back then. They had never put a stage there. So as soon as you walk in, there it is, and just everybody comes. And all of a sudden, dude, I'm stuck in a mosh pit. I had this first time. I was like 14,
wow.
never been in a mosh pit. I was so scrawny, small. I look around, like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. So I try to get out of there, dude. Somebody just like Spartan kicks me right back in, dude, right back in. It was ridiculous. I finally squirmed my way out, but I got to the side of the stage and the bass just boom, 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 boom. Best time I ever had. And so at the end of the concert, I was just walking behind some dude and he dropped an apple. And I was like, man, I'm sure you don't want it, but you dropped this. And he was the producer. He's like, hey, yeah, did you like the show? Told him, loved it. He said, what was your favorite part? I was like, yo, the best thing that I saw was the beginning of the day, and it was Slipknot. And he's like, oh, yeah? He's like, I'm their producer. You want to meet him? I was like, yeah, dude, let me meet him.
Oh,
So he took me and my buddy Matt behind the gates, dude, where the tour buses are, and I was supposed to meet all of them, but he came down. He said the rest of the band was busy, but Corey's gonna come down, the lead singer. I was like, awesome. I thought he was gonna come out with his mask, dude, but he came out without it. Just this normal looking dude, man. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. You know, shook his hand. He signed it with what, a 0 or 8. I forgot what Corey
yeah,
was.
that's his
I think he
number.
was, yeah, 0.
Yeah,
Is that what it was? Yeah,
he's
yeah.
8.
But he did
He's
a
8.
line. He did a line. What'd you say? Is it 8?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it 8 or 0? What is his number?
yeah, he's 8. He's 8.
8. Okay, okay. He did an 8, but he had a fucking 8. Oh man, dropped a note. He had a line through it though. Like an 8 in a circle or something. I don't know. He did his signature on that. I had the sticker for so long, and then I lost it. But yeah, that was the first time I was like, that was cool. You know, I didn't get starstruck, and I think that we had a really good conversation being 14 years old and a fan. And like, I'm like, this dude's awesome. But I'm like, yeah, man, it's a great show. You know, really liked it. You know, I try to keep my cool, just try not to freak out. You know, but yeah, that was pretty. That was a pretty good night. Slipknot was favorite band up there. So.
Awesome, man. Man, I'm jealous, dude. I got to see them play, but I've never got to meet any of them.
And ever get the chance, I'll tell you what, secret to anybody, if you ever wanted to really network to people, best way to do it, VIP. Just buy VIP tickets, man, and have a good
Yeah,
direction on what you want to do. You get to meet the person. If there's something that you do, like paint, make shirts, stickers, creative, anything, pitch it to them. Tell them like, hey, man, I got this. I would love to, you know, network with you or collaborate in some way, make you a symbol for free. You know, they usually artists are down to take that type of offer, and I know it's like free work, but they're gonna support it. They'll pop it out there,
yeah,
and it helps get your name out there. So you know, like I thought you may. Well, I didn't think. I I asked you who made your beats. It was your cousin. Now your cousin's got his name out there. You know, um, I think that it's good to do networking. It's good to collaborate with people for sure. And just
yeah, for
before
sure, man.
you're about to play the song, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you ready? Right before you do that, I sent you a link to a guy that makes beats. Awesome dude. So just I don't say step outside your cousin. I don't know how much loyalty people really have when they have people making beats. I know sometimes people do beats with other people. They collab with other people. So I threw this guy out. I know him. He's super cool. I think he's worked with tech. I know he's worked with strange music artists for sure. Um,
Nice, man. I'll
he
give him a check out, dude.
yeah, he's good, dude. I think you might like some of his beats for sure.
Nice, man. Yeah,
They're the,
I'll give him
they're
a
not
check out
they're
for sure.
yeah, they're not the beats like I've heard from you though. They are a little different from what I you have your cousin has a style and you go well with it. And I
Yeah,
can hear that. And so it would be outside that for sure, just a heads up. But yeah.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
So yeah, let's
My
give it a listen,
cousin is.
man. Go ahead.
Before I get on, yeah, my cousin is my main producer, but with like my group Heritage Click, I do work with other producers. I work with Wishmaster. I work with
Oh, I know
another
him.
one
Yeah,
named
yeah, I know
Dancing.
him. I know Wishmaster.
Yeah,
I think we used to follow each other. I used to post videos for him all the time. I forgot why.
yeah, man.
Maybe my algorithm just stopped kicking it around. I actually don't even know why I haven't seen any of their videos anymore. I used to like push out their stuff all the time. But anyway, yeah, Wishmaster's great. You might like this dude
Yeah.
then. I think he's done work with them, like, or
Oh
they know
yeah.
each other. I think they follow each other.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check them out, man, because I'm always down to work with other producers, dude. I'm always down to work with just work with anybody, period, man. It's hard to find, I mean, it's easy to find people to work, it's hard to find those people that you can
Click
connect
with.
with just basically by listening to them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man, let me go ahead and get this going, get push going.
All right. And it might not be the
Can you
best sound with it, everybody, but totally fine.
turn it up?
Yeah, I can't hear it. It's not that good.
Can't hear it, man.
Are you on a laptop or your computer?
No, I'm not on a laptop. I'm on my phone.
I can almost hear. Maybe just I don't know if you're not trying to tour your house around. Yeah, whatever. A little bit. That's just it's,
Hey, nah.
no worries. No worries.
I'll send you a link to it, man. You can check it out on YouTube.
That's cool. Yeah, for sure. And I will. Sorry, guys. No worries too. I will figure out a way to do something like that because I do talk to a lot of artists, and like Punch was willing to do the same thing, but couldn't really hear it that much. But really, I don't want people to hear. It's okay to not hear it that well because if you're hearing it good enough to be like, "Yo, that sounds great," just wait till you get the real deal. That real quality. It's gonna be great. But I do need to figure out a way to get like be able for you guys to send me like a snippet and where I can play it, man. I gotta get more tech savvy, dude. It's just I'm so old school. I never learned how to do this stuff, man.
I know, same here, man. I'm getting to the point to where I'm asking my kids, hey, can you do this for me? Can you put this in?
Yes. No, I asked my kids. Dude, my daughter's 22. I got a son that's 20 and another one. He's about to be 20. Yeah, I asked them like, hey, or my wife, for sure.
Yeah.
My wife, most of it falls on her. Poor woman. I'm so sorry, honey, that all of it falls on you. But I lay it at her feet and I'm like, make it work. Make it work. Just do it. Like, I can't, you do it. It's it gets frustrating, man. It gets frustrating. Technology is so useful in certain ways, but when it doesn't work, man, it's a nightmare, dude.
Man, it's always evolving, bro. Always evolving. So you always got to get with it, or you're gonna get left behind.
I'm left behind. I'm way back there, dude. I'm
I
like, I don't even see the group anymore. Where is everybody?
Yeah, I'm still stuck in the BRB.
Yeah, right.
Stages, you know what I mean?
I'm still back with the green snake game. All right, where everything is green and black. That's where I'm at. I remember that in school. That was it. I didn't do tech class. I've been to like 32, I think, different schools in my life, man. 32. It's a lot,
A lot of schools.
Curriculum is different everywhere you go. So it was due to, being homeless and stuff and as a kid, and then when I moved out into Missouri, I was, man, fighting teachers, burning bathrooms down, doing drugs in school, all kinds of stuff, man. So they kicked me out everywhere all the time. But yeah, it's not a way to be, though. I will say it's not. It's a really hard way to learn all the lessons that it's pretty much. When you get to the point that I'm at now, it's so common sense. Like, why not good to burn down a school bathroom?
Yeah.
Pretty common sense, But hey, I just had to try it out for myself and see how bad is it? How bad can it really be? It's like, I don't know. Let me try it. So yeah,
let me find out real quick.
Right. Let me kick open the custodian closet and get this aerosol can, spray the bathroom down, and just light it up. And that's what happened, Yeah, it's really not the way to be. I think that if anybody can take lessons from other people's mistakes, it should be don't do them. Don't even improve them and try to do them better. Just avoid them completely. Just step back and say, yeah, that was a bad idea. Won't do that, Kind of like what you were saying before. The perspective of others is good to listen. Yeah, well, we're getting on the late of the interview ish. I want to. You're putting out that you want to do the videos. That's awesome. What'd you say? EPs? Do they have names? Like, is it still an album name or is it just an EP? Like EP one? Go ahead.
Yeah, on Spotify, the EPs are released like these. They're still released like as singles. It's the EP.
Okay,
It's going to be under singles. It's not
gotcha.
going to be released like an album. But but yeah, man. I plan on releasing that EP, and I'm already working on some new stuff, which is going to be some really really heavy stuff. Working with my cousin still, but I'm also working with another producer called Bad Kid. I found him on YouTube, and he does like some really really grimy new metal hip hop style beats. Man, the beats are
Okay,
really really. But I
I
got a
like
few
that.
songs already. I got a few songs already written down. I just got to go to the studio and lay them down. But once I lay them down, I'll be releasing those as soon as I drop my EP, which I'm not sure when. I don't have an exact date when I plan on dropping this EP, but I know I'll have a date soon. Within the next month to come.
What type of messages are you putting in your music? Like, I know some of them are kind of, smoke weed, chill, totally fine. But when you're putting in like something deep, and you said you wanted to put more, would you say substance, or would you say you wanted to?
Yeah, more stuff, music and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
when you say that, what does that mean to you?
Uh, like I got a song that I'm going to release. I do believe I'm gonna release it in July. It's called Heartless/Ho, and Ho is an acronym for Hell on Earth. And
That dude, I like that. Okay, go ahead.
uh, songs basically about perception of the mind. Your perception is key in life. Like the song starts off like with the sample. Forgot where the sample came from. My cousin sampled it, but it's a badass sample. And this is a dude talking about, if you're in the dark and you have sunshine in you, it's not safe to play in the dark because all those that are in the darkness want to extinguish your fire. And it's basically, me talking about me having this dark mindset because I'm in this world full of darkness that I have to be guarded, and have the same dark mentality as everybody else to survive this dark world, you know. But at the end of the song, I ended off with a speech talking about, even though there's a lot of dark in this world, you know, and, this world's more on darkness, there's still light in this world, like, enjoying the moments with your friends, your family, striving every day to be better and to be a better person and making positive impacts in people's lives, sharing those moments with people, you know, just because there's darkness in this, even though there's hell on earth, it could be heaven on earth too. It's all about your mindset and how you perceive things. Also, goes with, whenever you're having a bad day, you know, there's somebody out there in that world that's having a worse day than you. So that's pretty much what that song Heartless Hoe is about. Just perception.
I really like that. I think the concept is awesome, and I think that your type of music, the way that you approach it, I think that sometimes people can take it out of context where they think that it's actually dark music, but you're actually talking about how to push through the dark. You know, which is actually something that I tell Punch all the time, man. I think that people perceive you to be a negative, the ones who aren't listening, those ones. And those are the people you don't want anyway, man. If they ain't listening, then push on, like the song, push, like get. Anyway, so
Yeah.
he focuses as well. That's why he does the light, the three in all of his hoodies and their he stitches in lights, LED lights in there, and he's trying to literally push light from into the darkness. And
That's dope.
and yeah, 'cause, dude, they come and they do try to extinguish the light, man. You're dead on with it. Can I make a suggestion to the acronym of like maybe your artwork that you might go with it? I don't know if you already are going to think of this, but I'm just curious
Nah,
because you
I haven't
said
had anything
something.
yet.
Yeah, you said something and then you said another thing, and I thought, oh, that's awesome because it's perception. So, hell on earth, heaven on earth, same acronym,
Yes.
right? So it's through the perception. For your artwork of it, it would be cool maybe if you did like a reflection off pond water or water where one is reflecting the, and the other. So you see it both, but it's still from the one, and it's your perception of which
Dude,
one.
that is a bomb idea. I was about to say something else, but that is a bomb idea right there, bro.
Cool.
Yes,
Cool.
I am going to use that. I will credit you on that idea. That is a
Thanks,
bomb
dude.
idea, bro.
Love
I
it. As
like
soon
that.
as you said the different perception, I'm like, oh, cool, like a reflection too, So I thought, and it can be eerie if it's like a swamp or a pond or whatever you might go with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Because
that's cool, man. Thanks, dude. I
yeah,
appreciate that. Yeah, that was cool.
thanks for that idea, man. Yeah, 'cause
Absolutely, dude.
that song means a lot to me, dude. Like how the beat goes, like it's also available on my Reverb Nation. My Reverb Nation, I do believe, is on my Instagram. If you're ever interested, you can just get on that link. Uh, it is on my Reverb Nation. If you can't find it, I'll send you a link to my Reverb. Like all my songs that I have that are gonna be released on Spotify are already released on my Reverb Nation, and you can download them for free and everything. Uh, but
Man, I
that
I
song,
like that. I mean, that's cool too, man. But that just gets your name out there. Don't we want people on the Spotify so you can get a little bit of money out of it?
oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure,
That's
for
where I
sure.
go, man. I watch
But
like Punch tells me, he's like, yeah, man, all these songs, like he'll say how many, like you can see how many times people listen to it, right? It counts it. I'm like, I guarantee you, dude, I'm half of that, if not. Like I that's like all I listen to is my
no,
beat,
for
man.
real.
But anyway, go ahead. You were gonna say something, and I interrupted you.
Yeah, but the reason why I got it on Reverb though is because Reverb is my distributor.
Okay,
So in order, the Reverb Nation is what puts my music on Spotify. That's how I get it on Spotify and on Apple
got it.
Music is through them. So
Didn't know that. Okay,
if you want, so if you want direct access to my music, you can always get it through Reverb Nation if you don't feel like waiting the amount of time you want to for it to be on Spotify.
times, man, we want it. I think Punch was feeling the pressure a little bit on a song called Beautiful that he was doing. And he sent me this beat, dude, like way before it was released. And or he played it for me while I was with him. And I'm like, dude, I just got hooked on. I really love it. It's just a real fucking chill beat, dude. Beautiful. It's just so. It's like one of my favorite songs ever. And he only gave me that little piece, man. I'm like, dude, I need that song, And I was bugging him, pushing him, dude. And he was waiting on this other guy to give him another verse, man. And I just kept him like, bro, when are you gonna release that shit? When you gonna release that stuff? Like, come on, man. And finally he just put it out, without the verse, which it's still complete, but a lot of his songs are short, and it's because he just doesn't have time to wait for people to keep putting you on the back burner. Yeah, why when you make a commitment to somebody, hold it. Hold that
Yes,
commitment. So just know this, artists, okay, all you musicians, people bank on your word. All right, if you're gonna
exactly.
give your word and keep it. Make sure that they can
Yeah,
keep it. Make sure they can stand on your words. When they're hollow and you're throwing them at other people, man, you're getting buried by other people's words. All of a sudden,
yeah.
it's like, man, well, he told me and you got fans, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't know. This guy is taking his time. He doesn't know how to keep a commitment or person.
Nah,
Just
it gets like that, man. Like, especially when you got money on the line. You know what I mean? Or
right.
you invest in a certain artist and they tell you, all right, it's going to be about a 2 week turnover. You know what I mean? So it'll be, give me 2 weeks and I'll give it to you. And then 2 weeks come, you get nothing. You message him and the management team and then nothing happens. And then message them again. They're like, oh, we got busy, we're stuck doing shows. But whenever we get a chance to it, when we get stopped at the next city, we'll do it, and then it just gets stressful after that. Like, damn, you just
Or
put me on the back burner.
Yeah, or two, you start reaching out like that, and they start saying like, "Yo, why you hounding me for this? How am I the bad guy all of a sudden because you
Yeah,
won't be true to your word?" How they people flip that so quick, dude. They make you seem
yeah,
like the bad guy because all of a sudden you want to hold them to their own word. Like, it ain't me, man. It's you. You're the one that doesn't know how to keep true to things you say. How am I
yeah,
the bad guy? Jerk,
yeah.
you know?
I'm not gonna say no names, but I've had one experience that was like that. But every other artist that I work with kept to the word, you
Solid.
know, on time, if not earlier, you know. But there was one artist that did, you know, kind of take their time, but whenever it came, it was well worth the wait. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, it was worth the wait. You know,
I will, and I
uh,
will say this too for the other side. Sometimes we don't know what's going on to the other side, so sometimes it is out of their control. And to actually give credit to the unnamed artist to that song, which he'll probably never be named, who was supposed to be on there, but he might hear this ever. To his credit, he just had a kid, and he was just like trying to tiptoe back into the industry, and you can totally see, dude, he's prioritized family over
yeah,
that, like that hustle, not work, but the hustle. And can't blame
more
a man
respect,
for,
dude.
yeah, you can't blame a man for anything like that at all. I will say though, but next time, man, just like think about that before giving your word though, too, because even though that is a reason, which is very valid, it's still, I don't think, is the excuse for you to say something and not be held accountable to your own words. If you're gonna say it, live it
Exactly,
up. If not, man, you better
exactly.
sit there, or you better own up to why you're not, and like you, as a man, you should ask for forgiveness, man. You know, you give a word. I
Yeah,
think that we've lost the meaning of what a word is to a man. If I say it, I mean it all the way, all the way. You can literally
exactly.
live. You can put your life on that from me. Now, if it's information's valid, if the I wouldn't always say the information is always valid, though. Maybe I'm incorrect. So I wouldn't say put the life that the information is correct. Just put the life that I believe it 100%. So I'm saying not
Yeah,
everything I say, but if I tell you I'm going to do something, that's, dude, your life is safe if you are going to bank on that one. I'll be there,
yeah.
So, um, awesome, dude. I think that the direction of that too, man. I'm super excited to hear that song too, and I want to see the artwork now, just because I'm a part of it. So, I think that
Yeah.
it's going to be super super cool. All right. Well, before we go, I do. We get into long. I love. I rant on, and I think it's more of a conversation versus an interview. But I like that because I think we get
No,
to
I
kind
like
of
stuff
figure
like
out,
that.
yeah, who we are together, and see if even we want to collab together again. I would very much so like you back on for another interview, especially if I start to grow. I would love to give you your due credit to the support, because I do seem to have enough people to continue on filling more interviews and more interviews, and I think that the older ones will get buried, and you
Yeah,
guys were here in the beginning, and I think that I would love to bring you back when we're successful, so that you can get that, like, hey man, you were here back when, and here we are
yeah,
now. Thank you. So and then maybe we can get into some more deeper conversation of kind of like um, what you see in society, what you kind of want to change in society. Is your music trying to influence that? Are you wanting to keep your bubble cool, or do you want to expand it out? Things like this. Like, these are kind of the conversations I do want to tap into as I go further with it. I'd like to understand what, if any, impact um, you might want to be making on society, or are you just trying to keep it in your small community, or in, you know stuff. So that'll be kind of the next one, so keep that in mind. Those will be like the questions that'll be going for on that one. So
cool.
here at the end, you want to give everybody one more, man. I'm seeing it's very choppy. Can you hear me good? Right at the end, we're getting choppy. We're gonna wait a second, guys. Hit the like, subscribe, follow Talksiiik. All right, check him out. Instagram, YouTube, all those platforms. He's going on. I got you. There we go.
Hey, man, my bad, man. My phone cut off on me. The camera cut off.
No worries, no worries. So, let me kick this one here. There we go. All right. So yeah, here, wanted to give everybody else or everybody another rundown of where to find you and what your upcoming project are about to drop tomorrow, and even give us the next one too, the hope.
All right. Yes. Once again, I am Talksiiik. Been doing music for over 10 years. I'm working on an EP called The Devil's Advocate. Unsure on the release date. I have a single coming out tomorrow called Push. It'll be on Spotify, on Music, it'll be on Apple Music, and it'll be on Deezer, and soon on other streaming platforms. So keep a look out for that. As far as future music and everything after my EP, I got a few other songs that I'm planning to record and release out to y'all. So keep a lookout, please. And once again, I don't know if I thanked you. I know I thanked you in the beginning, but I don't know if we were live yet. But thank you once again for having me on here. It was awesome, and I'm down for another episode whenever you're ready for that.
Man, I appreciate it, dude. Just as much, man. I'm sure it is returned tenfold, man. I feel honored to be able to talk to really good people. I'm glad that I was able to kind of keep some of my status, at least with some of the people that I knew, and they stuck around and understand that I'm trying to build back up to something unstoppable, man. Like our kids out here, dude, they're left to the wolves, and we need more like aggressively willing to be violent men to stand up and protect these kids. We have got to stand up and start saying no a lot more, and we also need to take more charge in society, and start telling even the other people, like wearing the costumes, man. No, for your own good. You want to do it behind closed doors, like we can't stop you doing that, but no more in the public. There used to be human decency laws, and I do believe that should come back. And I just, people want to say, oh, we're all free and free this and free that. We have laws and rules to everything. You're not allowed to walk around naked. There's still restrictions to the things that we are allowed to do, and it's just they don't want it to go as far as restricting them exposing themselves anymore. But point is that I'm very, very honored to meet people, like-minded people who have a similar view, at least, recognizing that it's bad and somebody needs to address it, whether it's going to be the person I'm talking to or not, but at least supporting that, yes, we do need some push. We need some change. We have got to get a better grip on our direction in society, period. We really do.
Exactly.
And I think that this open dialogue, where we start. This is where we start.
Exactly.
I don't know how much our views don't align, but I do know, at least from our conversation, it seems like we're at least similar. I think I saw I saw a couple red flags in your eyes when I mentioned a few things. Totally fine though. People have their own views, and again, I think that this is where it all starts to get better, is that we just have open dialogue and figure out where we differ and how we can get to a compromise. Sometimes there is no compromise, which I mean, hands off the kids. There is no compromise.
Exactly.
None.
Yeah.
Zero.
Touch the kid.
Yeah. Done. Zero. no compromise, and I mean on any indoctrination and physical touching, period. You're done. I think you are done, and you should be locked away in the darkest hole, if not, all the way
Yeah,
done. Uh,
you know
so,
what I mean?
right. Hey, Jesus, I believe Jesus said to it's better to tie a millstone around your neck and throw into the darkest depths of the ocean rather than touch or dishonor a little one or something like that. And I mean he literally said best you get thrown to the depths of the ocean before you touch one of these kids.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
comes from
You're better
Jesus.
off drowning yourself.
Right. And that comes from Jesus himself. So just saying, that should say I do believe that it's okay to get violent against people who want to hurt the kids.
Exactly. I feel the
Not
same
not
way too.
condoning it. I'm not saying go out there YouTube. We don't condone violence. We ain't sitting
Yeah,
there
yeah,
saying
no.
go out there and do that. I'm just saying that if something like that happens, I don't shed a tear. That's all I'm saying. My heart goes out to the people who get hurt. But whatever. So anyway, all right, yeah. Thank you so much for being on here, man. I appreciate you. I'll hit you up real quick too after the end just to say what's up and peace out. But
Yeah,
yeah, again, thanks, man, for being on here, and I'm excited to hear the future music coming up, man, for sure.
for sure, man. Thanks, man. Once again, thanks again, man. And until next time, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Here we go. Another one down, dude. Can I? Which I actually I don't. I'm gonna ask this question, and the answer is not gonna be a for real yes. But can I find a person that isn't cool to interview? Like that dude is super cool, super chill. His music is great. He's very, very talented artist. I do musician, MC, right? I think that the most of the people that I know I would classify them more than just a rapper. They have real, real, real talent. I think it's easy to rap. Even I, even I wrote a verse not that long ago. I sent it to a couple people like Punch and Anthony, and they liked it. They said it was okay, but could just be blowing smoke up my booty hole. Who knows, man? Because they're my friends. I think it looked good on paper, but I don't know how to flow it. But my point is, I don't believe that the talent comes from just rapping words together. I believe the talent comes from telling a story, being able to connect with the melody, the beat, the tune, the feel of it, the energy of the music, and be able to lay out a story that somebody can follow, and connect with. I think that is talent, and I do believe that a lot of the shiny object music has gotten a lot of people distracted, and they kind of forgot what real talent is. And I'll tell you what, Toxic, that's a real talented artist right there, musician, MC, top of his field. All right. I think that this guy is going to go far, and I would highly suggest get on board now. Be one of the ones that was on the ground floor so that he can remember you supporting him, because that does it feels good to be in the beginning of somebody's growth, and it feels good for the artist to watch somebody follow that growth all the way to the top. It really does. And I think that it's um it's a unique it's a unique low battery. That's what happened. Position to be in, and do it. You should do it. Support these fantastic upcoming artists, and watch them soar. Once again, guys, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. We got an interview on Friday. Oh man, it is low battery. We have another interview on Friday. The Tech Nine Ninja, I think is it Etherbo? I believe it is. Let me just look at my calendar and make sure. What do we got? No, it's Native King. Oh, nice, dude. No, the Tech Nine Ninja's on the 16th. Native King. Native King is going to be our next interview. Awesome guy. Everybody that I talk to is awesome. So, all right, guys. I'll see you on Friday. Thanks again.